drivers down there, the four-wheelers, y'all got a different type of death wish down there. Right? Y'all suck. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to discuss a sequence of events that happened a few months back in Ohio. Jeffersonville, Ohio, to be precise. This guy's passing me. For those of you who don't know where Jeffersonville is, on Interstate 71 at that cross-section of US 35. At that cross-section, there is a TA, there's a Love's, there's a Chipotle, there's a outlet. Stay in your lane, dude. What are you doing? There's a Chipotle, there's an outlet, there's a Waffle House. And it's one of my favorite places to shut down at, just really because of Chipotle. I don't like how close this guy is getting, bro. Like, what are you doing? We're gonna pass. But basically, this is what happened. I was running down 71 on a load going to Kentucky. It was paying very well. It was due the next day. But I also needed an oil change. And so I was, scouting around trying to figure out where I could get one quickly, which, at the end of the day, it didn't end up happening. I ended up getting routed to a terminal to get that knocked out. But I stopped in Jeffersonville for a 30-minute break, and I just so happened to see my father's truck over there. So I park next to it, pop out, knock on the door, nobody answers. So I call him. I'm like, hey, where you at right now? Just to make sure it was actually him. He tells me, I'm like, oh, shoot, yeah, I'm parked right next to him. He was in the shower at the time, so he was like, oh, all right, cool, give me a couple minutes, I'm gonna come out. Had no idea he would be there. It was a stroke of luck. I was happy I hadn't seen him in a few months. So, I was excited. He comes out, we go to the Waffle House, we sit down, have a little breakfast, have a nice little father-son discussion, talking about how, how the business going, how, the money, and then just all around advice that fathers give to their kids and stuff like that, which I really enjoyed, always appreciate. It's always nice to see them. After that, I'm looking at the time, I'm like, I gotta make it to this area by this time or whatever, so I have enough time to drop this load, grab something else. Boom, he understood. So we walk back to our trucks, I hop in mine, and I pull off. Now, I was facing towards, I want to say, the inner part of the truck stop, so you got to go around to get to the exit where there's the traffic light and stuff, and you could go left, you could go right, whatever. I go to the left, and this guy in a Tribe Express truck, I'm going to just say that company right there. Y'all, man, listen, it was a Tribe Express driver. He flies through the parking space to cut me off. And then he gets on the CB, he's like, why'd you cut me off? I'm like, I didn't even see him. So I answered back, I'm like, why are you speeding through the truck stop? Man, whatever, you're a joke. I said, you could have killed somebody with that move you just did right there. And after I said that, everyone who saw it, they get on the CB, they start lighting him up, cursing him out. All kinds of expletives were thrown around, name calling, all that. Which I agree with. You're an idiot and you shouldn't be on the road. Matter of fact, you shouldn't be breathing as far as I'm concerned. So then he proceeds to start calling me names and all kinds of stuff and talking about my company. We're a clown show. It's a joke. I'm miserable over here. You ain't making no money. I'm like, well, this joke is actually making me money. I'm satisfied with the numbers I see. I don't care. Like, say what you want. It's been doing me very well. So then he proceeds to talk about how he's an ex-Marine and I don't want no problems with him and all that other stuff that I frankly don't care about. I don't care about if you was a Marine or nothing. You're an idiot at the end of the day. That's all I care about. You're a moron and you shouldn't be here. So I answered back, I said, shut up and drive your truck. What'd you say to me? Shut up and drive your truck. He slams on the brakes. I almost run into the back of his trailer, but I stopped. And I hear his brakes pop. So I'm like, oh, this gonna get good. So I pop my brakes, lock my doors. He runs up yelling. So Now he's sitting outside my driver's side door yelling at me, punching the door and all this other stuff, telling me to get out or whatever. So I reached down to grab one of my tools to inflict bodily harm. I didn't flash it. I kept it real low out of his sight, just prepared. So I'm holding on to that, and I'm just staring him in his eyes like, if you get in this truck, you're not gonna like what I do. If you manage to if you break this window, if you can get the door, if any forced entry happens, you're not gonna like what I'm prepared to do. Because I'm just cold-blooded like that. I'm not going to fight you, dude. One, I got too much going for myself. And two, what sense does it make to fight you and I have goals, I have money to make, I have things I have to get done? You getting in the way of that. Moreover, you pose a threat to me. So, I can tell you now it's not going to be much fighting. I'm prepared to do some things that I'm not going to go into detail about. I don't care at that point. So he keeps screaming, keep yelling. I'm not saying nothing. I just got a, stone cold straight face. I'm staring him in his eyes like, I dare you. I dare you. Do it. Do it. I welcome you to get in this truck. Because I would love to take care of a fool. I would love to take care of an idiot. I don't like stupid. Stupidity makes me sick. It makes my blood itch. And you're an idiot. So, when it comes down to it, if you manage to get up in here, one of us got to go, and I pick you. Y'all get what I'm saying? You understand where I'm coming from, or what I am, what I'm getting at? He screams for about 2 minutes, hitting the door and all this other stuff, having his little mental breakdown. The whole time I'm just staring him in his eyes. And he finally decides to jump, start hopping back like, yeah, that's right, you ain't gonna do nothing, all right? It's not that I won't do anything, it's that I have no reason to. I have no reason to initiate anything. If you initiate it, we could go all the way left. You want to go left, we going all the way there as far as I'm concerned. But I'm not going to start it. I just wasn't raised that way. I'm not going to start nothing with nobody. So he gets back on the CB, he's like, yeah, exactly, that's why you ain't going to do nothing or whatever. I said, all right, drive your truck though. Now, I'm an ex-Marine and all this other stuff. I said, you a B-word too, so. Yeah, whatever, that's why you ain't get out. I'm just like, okay, I may not have got out, but you doing what I just told you to do. Man, what you mean? You driving your truck, ain't you? After that, complete radio silence. That's just a taste of some of the crazy stuff that can happen out here. And yes, I'm driving a little bit, so I'm climbing up this hill. So be it, I'm heavy. What are you gonna do about it? But yeah, that's just a taste of some of the craziness that can happen. Some of the things that you gotta be prepared for out here. I don't want the rookies or anyone considering getting into trucking thinking that it's all sweet peaches and rainbows and all this other stuff. Yo, some of these places, they get busy. Some of these people, they lonely out here. They're mentally unstable, losing their mind. And when you do the job long enough, you can understand why they might get to that point. But, at the end of the day, you have to be prepared for any and everything. Well, that means you got to fight somebody, you got to defend. I'm not going to say fight somebody. If somebody try to fight you and they put their hands on you, just go all the way. That's how I see it. Just go all the way. Make sure they can never hurt nobody again. That's my personal feelings. Y'all might see it differently. That's just how I feel about it. I'm not telling anyone to do what I do. I'm not telling anyone to do what I'm willing to do. What I'm saying is this is how I feel about it. You got to be prepared for bad weather. You got to be prepared for an annoying dispatcher, bad shippers with bad attitudes. You got to be prepared for some of these crazy drivers. They bad attitudes, their mental instability. And sometimes they just looking for a reason to cut up. I don't know what that guy was going through, but in his mind, I gave him a reason to cut up. And all I was trying to do was get on the road. I didn't have to do nothing. If I cut him off, I sure didn't see him. For me to have cut him off, he would have had to be flying through the truck stop. That's the only thing that makes sense. But nonetheless, I got out of that situation. Nobody got hurt. I got on the road. I called my father. I was just laughing. He was still parked there at the time. This happened right behind his truck. He had no idea. And he's like, yo, just be careful out here. I'm like, yeah, you ain't gotta worry about all that. It's just, that's what happened, dude. I wasn't looking for trouble. Trouble found me. It is what it is. Sometimes it's like that. But yeah, just be prepared for that. That's a little taste of what can happen, things that can go wrong. You never know. Every day out here is different. Every day is a different story. It's a different journey. You never know what to expect. Load could cancel. Somebody could try to run fade with you. It is what it is. Like, this is a diverse industry. The good things, the bad thing, all of it. All of it. I don't know how many people have a similar story to that one, but that's just my experience with what I would call a crazy tribe driver. I wanted to be petty and, you know, take a picture of the back of the trailer, get the trailer number, and report him to his company and all that stuff. But then I started thinking, you know, he could have a wife, he could have kids and stuff like that, and mainly the children, they're innocent. And this guy, he's providing for his family. So even if you was willing to cost your ability to provide for your family, I'm not going to go out of my way to take that from you. I'm not. They don't deserve that. That's the only thing that saved you, to be honest. Other than that, oh yeah, I'd have messed his life up. I would have messed his life up. But that's enough of that. Just a little story. I'm on my way down to Florida. Fortunately and unfortunately, I already know I'm getting paid good going down. It ain't gonna pay nothing really coming out, but I'll be close enough to Georgia to where I could deadhead for something better, and this load pays enough to where I wouldn't care about a deadhead necessarily. But with all that being said, as I always tell you guys, be happy, stay blessed, and do not be afraid to make drastic changes in your life. Listen, it might be the best decision you ever made. It really might. Now I'm gonna continue cruising down 75. My plan, I need to get south of Atlanta, hopefully down as far as Macon or south of Macon, so I can avoid the traffic tomorrow and keep on cruising. I'm Gold Phoenix, and I'm out.